going on, folks? I'm gonna give my honest assessment on Canelo Alvarez versus David Benavidez because I've been hearing some things and I'm seeing a lot of comments about Canelo versus Benavidez. So I want to give my honest assessment on that, and I'm gonna give this assessment based on David Benavidez's last fight and based off of Canelo's fight with Plant. I made a video about David Benavidez's chances of beating Canelo Alvarez if they ever fought. And I would have to say, I would have to probably up that percentage a bit. Maybe to bump it up to about 80-85%. Reason why is because I think David Benavidez is going to put a pounding on this dude, man. And I'm going to say this. I'm going to keep saying this. I'm going to say Canelo is a basic fighter to me. I don't see any special effects with him. He's a basic fighter that has good ring IQ. I think he has IQ. And he's kind of smart in that ring when it comes to certain things. But he only looks like that when it comes to certain fighters. We don't know how he looks with somebody that's going to put all the smoke and the heat towards him. You know what I'm saying? Here's the thing. There's people that say Canelo, there was this thing about Canelo has problems with slick fighters, which I believe is true, but I believe he only has problems with switch hitters that are slick. Another thing is, the misconception I also think is he has handled a lot of pressure fighters in his past, and I've been digging and digging and digging. I can't see anybody that brought that much that would probably bring that much pressure to Canelo Alvarez in a fight. People have said Triple G was a pressure fighter. Listen, Triple G is not a volume puncher. Triple G is not quick. His punches are coming, and it's almost like you can see them coming. He's not a pressure fighter where he's up in your face pressure, up in your body pressure. Triple G doesn't have good inside game at all. He's a mid-range fighter. David Benavidez, basing off the talk that he's talking, and I have no reason to believe anything different from this kid. If he goes in there and puts all out Michael Myers fucking pressure on Canelo, he is going to give Canelo Alvarez problems. There's a lot of channels that don't agree with it, and I respect their opinion on that. Only thing I said about David Benavidez is he needs to brush up on his defense. But here's the thing, though: when you're throwing punches like that and they're coming with power, how Canelo is not good on the back foot at all. He's not good on the back. I don't give a fuck what y'all tell me. The fanboys is gonna say different. I see it. He's not good on the back foot. And that kind of pressure, I have never seen anybody put pressure on Canelo like that. That kind of volume and power and speed at the same time. Canelo is gonna get overwhelmed with that shit, bro. He's gonna hit David, absolutely. It's going to come down to also, can David take his punch? I believe so, because come on, guys. Canelo Alvarez, I think his power is overrated, family. I really do. His knockout ratio is 67%, man. I think his power is overrated, yo. I don't care what y'all say. Yo, he's just Thanos puncher. He's just laying there. He's sledgehammer. David Benavidez himself admitted he's not a one-punch KO artist. Canelo ain't either. Show me where Canelo does something where he punching like Deontay Wilder. Show me one video where he touch a motherfucker and it's night. I want you to pull up a video and show me a fight. Actually, give me a fight where Canelo Alvarez he did some shit where like off the Spilka, where he had a dude in convulsions, or it was lights out. Show me. You can't, because it doesn't exist. And it doesn't exist with David Benavidez either. But the thing with David Benavidez is he admits that he's not a one-punch KO artist. He breaks you down systematically, right? Kind of like a Canelo. He gets to you systematically. But And I even admit, I said David has to work on his defense. And I think in that fight with Kyron Davis, he was working on that. You can see little subtle differences. So I think David Benavidez is going to be a little bit more cautious in his fight with Canelo, but he's still going to bring that. He's going to bring the heat to Canelo. Bottom line, I'm going to tell you this. If Canelo backs up even one time in that fight, he's going to lose. He's going to have to stand in the middle of that ring with David, or he's going to have to try to push David back. If he doesn't, he loses. I don't care what you tell me, he loses that fight badly. He's going to get pounded on for 12 rounds. I'm not sure if David knocks him out. It's possible, but I'm not sure. More than likely, I'll go to the cards, and David Benavidez is going to outbox him and win. And here's my thing. I would have to tell David to try to go for the KO or convincingly overwhelm Canelo every round with hand speed, man. Just use smart defense and then overwhelm and just punch through his fucking guard. He doesn't have that Philly shell. He's gonna get his guard is gonna get punched through. He's gonna shell up. Benavidez is gonna punch up his fucking body, punch him to the head. He's gonna do exactly what he did like Kyron Davis. Kyron Davis has better footwork than fucking Canelo Alvarez. To me. And a lot of people are gonna question why. Well, Rebel, why didn't David Benavidez knock out Kyron Davis? If Kyron Davis is a 160 pounder moving up the fight, well, that attests to Kyron Davis's chin. And I will be talking about Kyron Davis in an upcoming video because this fight was the best thing to happen to Kyron Davis, and I'll talk about that in another video. But that attests to Kyron's chin. He has a great beard, and he showed that in this fight. He still stopped Kyron Davis. This goes to show this kind of goes to what David Benavidez told everybody. I'm not a one-punch KO artist. He never said he was. He just said his goal is to knock you out. It never said he was a one-punch knockout artist. The goal is to stop you or knock you out. That's it. Just so happens he's an accumulative KO dude where the fight gets stopped. One way or another, it didn't go to 12. It stopped. The fight got stopped. But Kyron Davis has a fucking chin and huge balls. Period. And there might be times where the fight's going to go to the cards. It's not going to always be a KO, even if you are a KO artist. Tank has one fight that went to, I think, one or two fight. One fight Tank had went to the cards. And Tank is a KO artist, right? He has a very high, 90%, a little higher than that, knockout ratio. And he still had a fight that go to the cards, right? So every fight is not going to be a KO. Canelo's fights, all his don't end in KOs, right? He has 60 fights, 39 knockouts. What are you talking about? So you're not going to always get the knockout. It's just what it is. But I'm telling y'all right now, after this David Benavidez dude has an engine. I told people it was going to come down to him having an engine. The dude wasn't even sitting down. He has a fucking engine. This dude cuts the ring off like a motherfucker. He's going to cut Canelo off. He's not going to allow Canelo to cut him off. I'm not buying this whole thing where he's going to punch David Benavidez and he's just going to crumble into he's going to crumble like a paper bag or something like that. No, that's not happening. That's not going to happen. And I'm not saying he's going to get in there and just punch Canelo one time. Canelo's just going to go, oh my God, the power of David Benavidez. No. It's not going to happen. But I'm telling you right now, there's a reason why Canelo Alvarez danced and skipped around this kid. Listen, you fanboys could deny it all you want. And you fanboys, I'm reading these comments all over. Well, let David Benavidez fight Charlo first. No. Stop putting hurdles in front of this fight. You're trying to hide and protect Canelo Alvarez. You're putting hurdles in front of him. You're putting other guys. Why is he going to... I said this. Why would he fight Charlo? He's not even in his fucking division. Benavidez never lost. He's still a fucking man at 168. I don't care what you dudes say. If he never was beaten and had his belt taken from him, he's still the fucking man to beat at 168. When Canelo beat the brakes off of David Benavidez, then I'll give him some credit. Oh man, Canelo's gonna smoke him. He ain't ready for Canelo. Oh, Caleb Plant was, right? Avni Yildirim was. And this whole Avni Yildirim, man, he chose that. Remember, ain't Canelo the franchise dude? Come on, man. Yeah, y'all can stop the bullshit anytime now. Because I ain't buying the bullshit. Y'all trying to throw Jamal Charlo in the mix, as trying to put him as a roadblock from David getting the Canelo's ass. No. Let Charlo handle his smoke at 160. He had his chance. He didn't want to move out. He bitched up. I want to see that fight. Not right now, though. David Benavidez got some business to take care of. And that business, one of those businesses is Canelo. Let Charlo take care of Jaime Munguia. Let Charlo take care of Demetrius Andrade smoke. Handle that smoke there. And then worry about moving up to 168. That's what I think should happen. But let me tell you, I don't know how true it is. I'm still trying to find the article or the interview. Word is that Eddie Reynoso said that Canelo Alvarez is not going to fight David Benavidez for another 2 years. I don't know if that's true. I'm looking it up. I'm going to have to do some research on it tomorrow to make sure that this wasn't bullshit. I'm going to look it up. Now, I said in a previous video, after this fight, I'm pretty sure Canelo Alvarez is not going to pick David Benavidez. It's going to be, he's going to ask Charlo to come up because Charlo's last fight, he didn't look too good. Or he's going to pick somebody like John Ryder or somebody like that. Watch. That's what's going to happen. More than likely, Canelo is going to probably defend his titles, but it's going to be against lesser comp. And then they're going to find ways to prolong that David Benavidez fight. I'm telling you. And then when it happens, there's no more hiding. There's no more trying to cover this shit up or cover up the fucking fact. Everybody's going to see it for what it is. But the Canelo fanboys are still going to say, they're going to go off this whole thing where, who has he fought? Who has Benavidez fought? He's not ready. What you mean he's not ready? The dude has 23, 24 fights? I don't want to hear that shit, man. We don't want to hear he's not ready. He's a pro boxer. You acting like he's an amateur being called, amateurs calling out a pro boxer. No. Benavidez has been a pro for 8 years? No, I'm sorry. Not 8 years. Let me see. When did he start boxing? Pro. I think he was yeah. I think he started in 2009 or 8? I got to go back and check. He's been a pro for some while now. About 8 years, 9 years? He's 24 years old. It's time, right? Stop the bullshit, man. Stop keeping Canelo in PC. Eventually, people are going to catch on. Like, everybody already caught on. But the more he keeps, moving and maneuvering around people, it's going to look ever so obvious to the world. But to his fans, it's not going to ever look like that. It's going to look like Canelo's just world beater and he's just breaking everybody down and nobody can fuck with Canelo. That's their mantra. Okay, let them have that. They're going to keep running off this whole thing. Well, why don't Benavidez ain't ready for him. He'll get stopped. Okay, I'm tired of the hypotheticals. Let's see the fight. And all of the bullshit from all the sides. Let's see the fight. I think he gives Canelo problems, period. I looked up a lot of Canelo fights. There was nobody that fought the way he did. He's fought nobody the way he's fought nobody that fights like David Benavidez. Floyd Mayweather, another thing that Canelo fanboys like to say about Floyd, that Floyd ran in that fight. Where did Floyd run in that fight at? Please show me where Floyd Mayweather ran. He stood in the pocket and gave Canelo that work, bro. He moved around and he planted his feet at certain times and let his hands fucking go with conviction. He committed to his punches. Something Caleb Plant was scared to do for the whole fight. All right? So that's my assessment. To sum it up, I don't think this fight is going to happen anytime soon. If that Eddie Reynoso comment is true, we won't see this fight until for another 2 years. Or we might not even see it in 2 years. That might be a big stall tactic. Anything can happen in 2 years. And I think David Benavidez has the ability to beat this guy. Period. I had it at 75. I give him an 85% chance now. So based on what I saw and based on his truthfulness, the kid is scary. He's a scary kid. He's the boogeyman. Fuck what y'all tell. And I'm not a fanboy. I'm just calling it like it is. I think he's the boogeyman at 168. If Kyron Davis took it, that's another thing, man. That's why I got to give all the props in the world to Kyron Davis. He took that fight short notice, moved up to fight Benavidez, but Canelo don't want to fight him. This is y'all champion. This is y'all thoroughbred. Then y'all want to talk about y'all want to discredit Kyron Davis and say, oh, he ain't nobody. All right, but nobody came up and went through the storm with David Benavidez, and Canelo was afraid to do it. He still is, in my opinion. Why? That's my opinion. Honest assessment, the fight may not happen, if at all. I'd be surprised if that fight is next. But I think the next fight for Canelo is Jamal Charlo, John Ryder, or somebody of lesser skill set. Let's see if I'm right. This is Rebel Life Boxing. I'll catch y'all later on the next one, and I'm off this.